Feminism has intentionally destroyed the purpose of men today. That's why men lack a sense of belonging. Men feel like they are not needed. Men, they've even removed the roles of men, right? They feel like, okay, as a father, the only job of a father is to provide. And guess what? If women can provide, it means we don't need men anymore. So men are what? Men are committing more suicides. Men are struggling with depression, anxiety. And if you really look back at it, right, what is really the problem? Okay, how are they really doing these things, or why are they really doing these things? You see, I don't want men attacking feminism because I'm not here to basically tell you, oh, attack feminism. No. Feminism did not start with the intention of destroying men. No. It started with the intention of giving women a chance. That means it's, even with the idea of two-parent household, it all started with what? A choice. So father and mother did not really need to, were not forced to go and work until some very sudden shifts, whether a second wave or third wave. Let's talk about third wave. Because third wave feminism intentionally wants to push women to the labor force, thinking that, okay, fine, if they can force more women to the labor force, guess what? Don't need men anymore. And that is about to hit, it's basically hitting women right now. There's a reason that women in their 40s and 50s are very, very single. You see, because when you blow out that traditional role, guess what? A lot of men don't feel needed. And one thing for sure is that when men don't feel needed, when men feel like their efforts are being wasted, what happens? They withdraw. Now, all of a sudden, they begin to shout Men's Mental Health Month, knowing fully well that the source of men's mental health problems is the fact that men these days, they lack a sense of purpose. They feel like they're not needed. They feel like anything they do is not appreciated. They know this. But again, when they say things like men should speak up, it's very intentional because they want men to go and speak up to therapists. Men don't want to speak up. Men just want to have what? A sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, right? A sense of community. So again, how they do this thing a lot is through raising boys. If you look at how we were raised and how I was raised, we were raised with what, apart from the feminine teachers, we were raised with feminine ideas. We put boys and girls in the exact same classroom. Now, the way boys are wired is completely, I think the foundation of feminism was built on the lie that men and women are equal. Far from the truth, because that will allow you to put boys and girls in the same classroom. Guess what? That's not how boys learn, because boys like to learn with what? Practice, physicality, playing with objects. Women can sit down there for hours and take lectures, take notes. And guess what? Because of boys are that restless, they assume that boys have a problem. Guess what? They label it ADHD. But one thing for a fact is that I'm very grateful for my ADHD, because if I didn't have ADHD, I may have taken all those ideas until today, be living through those ideas. I'm grateful for the fact of ADHD, and these days I'm beginning to understand that ADHD is not a problem. It's a feature, not a bug. What feature is it? The feature is that when you have ADHD, you only focus on things that matter to you and exclude the rest. If you watched my video about the art of not giving a fuck, that is what it is actually. When you have ADHD, you only pick things that pique your interest. You don't choose things that work against you, right? Because you know you have a form of identity for yourself. So I always tell you, see, yes, the world doesn't allow you to be on your purpose because from a very young age, we're told to act like girls, to be more like our sisters. Like I said, you really can't attack feminism, but one thing you can do is to find your purpose. There are different ways to find your purpose, right? And I've spoken to a lot of guys and helped them to solve their own purpose. I've helped them to find their own purpose. And it's basically simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it, and this is it. There are two ways to find your purpose, and there's one way to never find your purpose. I'll start with the one way to never find your purpose. The one way to never find your purpose is by sitting down and waiting for inspiration. It never works. So a first way, which is the easy way, is start with what you're already doing, right? Start with what you're already doing. Keep moving, because that's the only way you can find purpose. If you have an intention to find a purpose, guess what? You'll find it actually. It's not cliche. It's our minds tend to overcomplicate it. And if you're in your 20s, if you have more time to explore, good for you. Right? But this system still works for you if you're in your 30s. The second one is fix a problem, a deep-rooted problem in yourself, and then help other people fix it. That's it. You see, I tell people that if you want to live, if you want to live an interesting life, if you find profit in your passions, if you find profit in your passions and help other people, it's called your purpose. It is that simple. But guess what? The mind wants to complicate it. How does it look like in the real life? If you're somebody who's suffering with what? With lack of confidence, guess what? Try to fix your confidence problems and then help other people fix their own confidence problems. It may sound, it's actually simple on the surface and it is simpler in practice. Solve your problem. There are people on the internet every day who are solving their problems, selling their solutions, and before you know it, you're solving your problem. Guess what? What that means is you are being paid to solve more of your problems. Think about it. So whenever people brag about insecurities, I'm like, do you realize that your insecurities are a blessing? They are a blessing. You fix them, you show people how to fix them, and guess what? You get paid. Do you know how crazy it is? So again, I know sometimes because I've spoken to people and I get this mindset because a lot of boys, a lot of guys, a lot of young boys have fixed their mindset that, oh, I am not appreciated. So why get rich? Why do all these things? Let me tell you something as a brother. Yes, as a guy, you're going to have to do more than just be on your purpose. You're going to have to learn how to regulate women's emotions, how to regulate your emotions, how to be flirty, how to be good in the bedroom. I know that's quite all right. But again, if you set an intention in those areas you are lacking, right? Have a vision first, because when you have a vision, your mind helps to solve it. This is why I can't give you a one-size-fits-all right now over this video. But I know that if you set, one thing for sure is that if you set an intention, the mind will look for ways to make it happen. Right? So then two, also ignore these women that make all those statements. I don't need a man. Those are women who have never appreciated any male gesture in their entire life. Because if they really understand that it's men that keep the oil rigs on, it's men that keep the lights on. And if you look at any society with weak men, you begin to see what? Infrastructures failing. Things are failing. Because why? The society basically relies on men. Now, I'm not here to say women are useless, because when I speak to feminists or I have feminist friends, they keep saying that, are you saying women are useless? No. Men and women play a very good role. But when feminism blurs the roles of men, guess what happens? Men feel like they are not needed. But they make them feel like, oh, the role of the father has to provide. As the research, again, the third wave feminism has been hiding a lot of research from women. For example, if you go to Google now and type the disadvantage of women having high body counts, I think of women either having sex early or also having high body counts, I can bet you will barely see that research online. Because these guys are doing their best to hide, to basically to double down on the lies. They're doing it. So as a guy, it's not your business, right? Find your purpose. Go for women who want you for your personality. Yes, is money important? It's important. I'm not going to bullshit you. Go for women who like you for your personality and your authenticity, right? So live life authentically. I don't have this whole full bullet points. I get my videos, I get inspiration, I let it out immediately. What else? Find like-minded men. So I always say that if women were really interested in men's mental health, they would have solved the problem now. Give men a purpose, right? Men find joy in what? Men find joy in doing purposeful work, and men find joy more in doing purposeful work with other men. That means that men like to hang around men, because I know for a fact that, hey, I'm a solo grinder. But one thing is, meeting like-minded men has completely changed the ball game. Because sometimes I could be thinking I have a proper thinking towards something, but because I have solid mentors and solid men around me, guess what? Sometimes I get to realize that so my thinking has what. So guys, I always tell you that please fix your insecurities and help others fix it. It's to give you a sense of purpose, right? Because when you're helping people, good joy comes out of it. And heck, that's why after finding my purpose, I feel one of my purpose is to help other men find their own purpose, because the greatest system that helps men to get rid of addiction, apart from the purposes, the best system that helps people get across over addiction, I think, is a 12-step process. The 13th step, the last step is basically help somebody else. Because the more you help people, one, you feel joy in it. Two, it gives you a deeper sense of purpose as to what you are really doing and why you are really doing it. So yes, I know men, you out there, you're struggling with finding your purpose or finding where you belong in society. But remove the noise. If you remove the noise from your head and understand that you can actually find your purpose, right? Be with other men and look for women who are not damaged, right? women, and again, I'm trying my possible best to respect women, because a lot of the times they say, "Oh, my content like mine doesn't respect women." No, I respect women like crazy. I have a lot of feminist friends. I would never date them. So I don't want this video to stretch for too long, because it's not like a scripted, articulated video, but I just felt like sometimes I get my videos, they come into my head. I just feel like, you know what, let me get this message out there for young men. And I know I'm still my 90 days creating content for young men to level up their lives, figure out their purpose. If you like what you heard in this video, I want you to please share it with as many men as possible. Because let's be honest, my videos are not entirely built to what fits the algorithm. No, they are built to speak to you. They are built to empower you, because heck, I never told you to book a call with me, right? What I'm telling you is that you can basically solve your problems. You can find your purpose, and obviously have a vision for yourself. Find your purpose. If you want to date, if you want to get women, you still have to optimize for that. Yeah, you have to optimize for that, and then you'll be fine. So my name remains Tonore. I wanted to please share this video with other men who find it helpful. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.